Our brains are incredible. However, they've got a terrible habit of creating false realities in our heads. So, as somebody who's on the way to being sort of like tested and diagnosed with autism and ADHD, one thing I am extremely good at is pattern recognition. The only problem is that I constantly want to find patterns. And I know a lot of people around me are like this as well. So what I tend to do, and what I've tended to make the mistake of in the past, is that I would see something and I would immediately want to make a pattern of it. And I would start filling in the blanks. So, like I said, assumption is the mother of all F-ups, should we say. And it's true. We assume. Now, assumptions are completely devoid of primary data. Okay, so we have a small amount of data, and then we're filling in the gaps with those assumptions, with those ideas we've got in our heads. Now, bearing in mind, those ideas and those assumptions are deeply colored by our own biases. Okay, so if we have a bias towards maybe being distrustful of people, then when we fill in a blank, when we don't have all the information and we want to fill in the blank within the pattern, we will use our biases to fill in those blanks with our assumptions that are colored by our biases. So this causes the problem of the fact that then your entire life is based on patterns that have no bearing on actual reality. So what you want to do is, and this is something I've been trying to develop myself to varying degrees, is work with observable data alone. Now, this is not easy. We're emotional creatures, and like I said, we're natural pattern matchers. We want to fill in those gaps, but you want to work on data alone. If you've got primary data, if somebody says something to you, trying to read between the lines because you're looking to figure out the pattern of what they're saying, try to avoid doing that. If somebody says something to you, take it for what it is. Don't try to fill in the gaps. Do not try to invent data that is based on your own biases and your own preconceptions. Just create your opinions based on the primary data that is available. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment.